I feel you, sir. That's why when I went back and I wanted to see myself what actually was the truth. What was the truth? And the truth is, sir, that when HEX was first started, it was right here, okay? We had the Black Swan and we had this little run up. It's kind of funny. We actually had a little PMI rise up above 51, which was quite interesting. But it was, remember, HEX, it was the artificial bullshit. Everybody went 98% down from day one, adoption amplifier. So then when it ran up, it optically looked good. But the big mania that we look at, sir, it's right here. It's a rising PMI environment, you know, because, you know, you've said, Liddy Boo, you said, correct me if I'm wrong, the old Richard doesn't need anybody else to pump his chain because he's so rich. But you got to remember, sir, in markets, bro, like we're in crypto, we're digital cities. Cities need people, okay? If we don't get new people, it's like everybody's starving. You need new people to come in. It's based off Metcalfe's law, right? The more number of people, you get the value of the people squared. Okay, so if 10 people join, you got a value of 100. If 20 people join, it becomes a value of 400, right? If you just have a value of 2 people, it becomes 4. So it goes exponential as you keep going it up and moving it up. You need more people. The thing, though, is you got to remember, sir, I am looking through the benefit of hindsight and history. So I can sit here and tell you, look, the PMI expanded, infinite QE, 0% interest rates, and then they started pulling back, okay? Nobody, Richard included, nobody knew what was coming, say, after this point, okay? Interesting, though, Richard actually did know as a smart guy. Remember, he said they're going to raise rates, they're going to crash everything, they're going to crack everything, and he was actually correct. However, this is what I'm about to tell you is now purely just what I've learned. This is not my, like, I'm not imposing my will in the market. This is just what it does, okay? This is behaviorally, okay? I've written it up here, bro. Bitcoin follows global M2. Altcoins follow the business cycle. So, this is the thing, okay? Richard and everybody else in crypto in 2020, they saw the money printer go on and the business cycle go up. So, naturally, everybody concluded, oh, when they print money, things go up, right? We got Black Swan, though, because look what happened, bro. They've actually, I know they've been doing quantitative tightening, but they've actually printed some money here. Only Bitcoin went up. Okay? Only Bitcoin went up. So this is never happened before. That's why, bro, it's literally Black Swan. You and I have lived through, bro, 37 months. In 140 years of this data, it has never been this bad for this long. I'm not even exaggerating. You know, the last 3 crypto cycles, it was bad for 10 months, 12 months, let me show you, and 6 months. Yeah, I'm not joking. The Great Depression from 1929, manufacturing recession, 30 months. We're actually on month 37, bro. So normally this is how it works, right? The PMI, it's a cycle, yeah? So let's start from the top. Inflation got too hot. Major loser Powell said, okay, inflation 6%, we got to stop it. We got to hike rates. It killed everything, okay? Now, Richard used the past and he said, oh, look what happened last time they did it. We go down for about a year and then we start going up. Sound familiar? Yeah, that's what happened in the past. Didn't happen this time. This time, we went down, yeah, and here's 2022, 2023. And then what happened is, as they start doing a bit of money printing, unfortunately, only Bitcoin went up. That's why I've written up here, Bitcoin is different to altcoins. Now, we can think about why. It doesn't really matter. It's just, this is this here, okay? You know, just you go outside, hey, there's the sun. Hey, the sky is blue. Hey, the grass is green. This is just, I'm describing behavioral things from the cryptocurrency industry so everyone understands, okay? Bitcoin follows global M2. So it's another way of saying when they print money, there are people out there who are actually saving and DCA buying Bitcoin and they believe in it long term. All right? And actually, if you look at, see this orange line in the background? This is actually Bitcoin. Okay? This is literally Bitcoin. Do you see how Bitcoin would peak with the business cycle, each cycle? Look what it did right now, though. It's actually been able to go up without the... See, when Bitcoin was able to break its high, the orange dotted line, and it didn't even need Main Street, okay? Now, what people will then say is a natural conclusion. They said, oh, but Sommi, makes sense because now Bitcoin's institutional. The institutions are not Main Street. They're not nurses and doctors and mechanics and stuff out here. You might also say the institutions, they, they have access to borrowed money, which is true, and the Cantillon effect, which is where the money printer, they print money first, and whoever gets to spend the currency first wins, right? So it actually is true. However, even before that, we can't really disregard the power of Bitcoin. We still got to be grateful that we have an industry. We don't just need Main Street to go up because Bitcoin has been able to find its own footing over time. Now, some people might have a myopic view on that, negative, where they say, let's play some angel music for us. Some people might say, well, you know what? We've screwed up. Bitcoin has value. Nothing else has value. Not so fast. All right. Because, look, Bitcoin and its achievement, what I've got here, I've got Bitcoin's chart. You've got the balance sheet of the US Fed, and we have global liquidity, okay? The global liquidity, which is basically just all the money units and everything printed over time, it is going up over time, okay? There has been a disconnect recently. You see this? This has been obviously causing everybody pain, right? Never happened before as well, But even then, right? I'll show you the Bitcoin chart. Yeah, this is very important. So over time, obviously we know this chart here. Bitcoin going up over time, lasting all these cycles. It really does have believers. Yeah, currency units get printed, they buy. Right now, this is where it just gets a bit strange. Well, not a bit strange. It's just how it is, man. Like Bitcoin, first mover advantage. All right, that's why it twists everybody's head because they're like, whoa, man. It's never going to be toppled. But that's where you have, so that's why what we're doing, it's higher risk, as you get to see now. But the upside is huge because you have all these altcoins, XRP, Cardano, Richard Hart, Uniswap, Chainlink, Tron, with Justin Sun, Ethereum. You have all these altcoins. They're trying to add stuff, right? Utility. Just having utility is not enough to make you go up. All right. So as everyone's watching the video now, I've made this for you, Mr. Liddy Boo. Everybody can see, right? This low PMI stuff. Okay, I use this example. Really is true, man. What's the point of yelling about somebody who's getting wet when it's raining outside and you're out in a park? Okay, that's what I'm telling you. Richard's smart. Yep, and all the altcoin founders are smart. Charles Hoskinson's smart. Brad Garlic Breath from XRP is smart. Justin Sun, Justin Sun, Tron smart. Sergey from Chainlink is smart. Gaiden is smart. Vitalik, non-human intelligent, right? 4,000 IQ, literally an alien. So, but here's the thing. This is just the wildest part of all, dude. They still can't outbeat the business cycle. No one can. I will tell you something though. Why are a lot of, say, PulseChain, Core Coin, maxis really pissed off out of everybody? Hexicans, I just so everyone knows, I don't just sit here and go, oh well, something's wrong. I want to know. I want to know stuff like, hey, should I hold stuff? Why hold? Why do these things tend to go up over time? Why? I want to find out, right? And go down to the reason. The thing is, I can answer for you here. HEX in the first cycle had a unicorn effect. Okay, here it is. All right, this is HEX. Dropped 98%, comes back up and rises, right? And what I've actually done for you, sir, do you see this dotted line? This is actually the PMI. It's funny enough. You see, HEX goes up with the PMI, and look, it comes back down, and here we are. See that? It's kind of funny. And I just want you to know as well, I'm sure everyone else is watching too. Yeah, 99% of altcoins have that chart. Do you know that? Yeah. But this is where the juice comes in. Just I wanted to know. I wanted to know. I found out the answers, man. It's funny, man. You know, I've been talking about this. So, you know, it's for everyone out here, guys, I've been talking about this since 2023, like the beginning. Yeah, like I learned this the first thing I learned. I wanted to go find out, you know. There's nowhere to read that. Everyone was asking me, how did you learn this? Where's the book? Where's the book? Okay, I am the book. There's no one else to learn off. Everybody else is selling, trading, referral links, and grifter stuff. And, you know, so I want to figure it out, right? But this is the juice right here, yeah? This is where, like, Richard pulled a rabbit out of the top hat in the first cycle. This is why, like, if everyone's forgetting, like, why everyone's here, right? He made HEX. HEX front run the DeFi narrative that became a unicorn story in crypto. So Richard launched HEX in 2019. You had Chainlink and Aave peaking in 2020, and they basically continued. Okay, so HEX is a DeFi coin. It's funny, HEX is actually what we call DeFi 2, which was just handing yield upon yourself. Right, but DeFi 1 included Chainlink, Oracles, Uniswap, the DEX, Aave, money market borrowing, synthetics. I don't even know what they do, right? So that's basically what the DeFi 1 was. But it doesn't matter. It was in decentralized finance category. You basically, what does that involve? Having a token listed on Uniswap. Yeah, that's you front run the narrative, right? That's another one. Immutable code that's slapped on there. Also, there's a promise of, like, you know, there's yield, there's game mechanics to these. There's like a utility of something to participate in, right? So that's what he basically front on. That's why HEX, I mean, if you check out HEX from Bitcoin's halvening in like May 2020 to the top, it did a 132x return. Many other coins did not get anywhere near that because they weren't a first cycle unicorn. HEX was the ultimate. I mean, like, you know, it's kind of funny. Everyone's forgotten now because it's been 5 years. But yes, everyone wants to know, why is everyone here? It's because they literally watched Richard pull a rabbit out of the hat. Now, it gets a bit spicy now. Not really spicy. I'm just telling everybody the truth, okay? HEX, no one had seen anything like it, okay? Pulse, and this is where it's very important, okay? And I'm not making this up. This is what happens in crypto. In your first cycle unicorn, you get this big burst if you're a coin, and you're cherry picked. You're chosen from the gods. Not everybody gets this. You're lucky. You're blessed, okay? However, in the next cycle, nothing can run on its own. Nothing. They are so rare. Actually, out of 500 coins for everyone, remember, I actually found only 5 coins that recovered in 2024 last year on their own. And I know them all. We had BNB, we had Solana, we had Injective, we had Fetch, and then we had Floki. 5 out of 500 coins. Think about the odds of that. 1%. Yeah, but no one knew this at the start. You don't know this. I'm only teaching you this now because I learned it and I wrote it here for you. Now, here's the thing, okay? PulseChain was not a first cycle unicorn. It's an alt layer 1. Alternative layer 1 Ethereum chains had their unicorn run in 2021. Actually, when HEX was running up, funny enough. Alternative layer 1s. That was like Cardano, BNB, Phantom, etc. They were alternatives to Ethereum, okay? So by default, it's a cycle 2 narrative. What does that mean? It means the market, they understand how to price these things. They know what a chain is. Yeah? That's why, like, it's for everyone to know. When no one knows what the hell your thing is, literal garbage, no one knows how to price it. And that's actually what you want. You want to look for stuff you've never seen before. Okay? It's, you know, but it's risky, of course. Okay? Let's continue. PulseX. PulseX is not a first cycle unicorn. It's cycle 2. It just copy-pasted, they say, Uniswap. It's got some mad features, etc. But yeah, it's another DEX. Uniswap came out, you know, it got popularized 2020. And yeah, years later, everyone knows what a DEX is. You go ask anybody in crypto, do you know what a DEX is? Yeah? Okay. What about Inc? Just like PancakeSwap. No real use case, green logo, meme coin of sorts. It's like PancakeSwap, okay? They've seen something like this, the yield handout thing, okay? So, and then the EHEX, PHEX thing is basically like twin splits. But you get to see how HEX was the first cycle unicorn and everything else, you're like building up a city, but people have seen these stuff before, all right? That's now, I hope after seeing this, everyone, you're now seeing as well Look, you can do whatever you want. I'm just telling you. Like I've made hours and hours and hours of video just to show. Everyone says, "Hey, why don't you liquidate everything? Why are you still holding this?" Here, stupid literal garbage coin PDI. Okay, I've never seen it before. Yeah, I made videos. I know. I've made over 6,200 videos now. Got a lot of content. I went back and I want to know, hey, if I was to be transported with you back in 2010, 2012, 13, 14, 15, every single year of crypto, what mindset did I need to succeed? Okay, and not, oh, just go buy Bitcoin, go buy this one coin, because that's not the mindset you need to succeed. The mindset, I actually figured it out, right? The mindset you need to succeed is look for unicorns. Otherwise known as look for stuff you've never seen before. Boom, that's it. Something you haven't seen before, and stop there and have a punt. Just have a punt. Yeah. Don't go all in, just have a punt. By default, throw something in. A lottery ticket, peanut, crumb, whatever. Something. Look at it. That's it. Okay. They don't all work, but if you have that mindset of staying open where you go, hey, I'm just going to look for stuff I've never seen before, you significantly increase the odds that you come across stuff that ends up hitting 100x, 1000x, the big winners. Okay, that's the mindset. That's why I don't bother explaining to people what these things are that I can't. When I can't explain stuff, I love it. Yeah, I love it. You go check my Telegram. Everyone goes, but Sommi, people still ask, Sommi, how does the collateral mechanisms work where this thing definitely goes somewhere? And I say, bro, firstly, no one uses the word definitely. Okay, number one. Number two, I got no idea, dude. I'm just telling you, I'm long. I don't give a crap. That's it. I'm long and I don't know. See yous. Welcome to markets, right? When you say that, you increase your odds of winning. It's funny, yeah. When everybody knows the formula and they know A plus B is a Batman symbol, okay? Oh, this company has a PE ratio of 25 and they're in this market demographic and there's this much GDP and these are the average swings. The volatility is mined out. There's no edge. Okay, so we're still early to crypto enough. So friends, taking it back, Volatility, I made you this special video, so I want everyone to know, yeah, I've taken you on this journey to show you, all right, the confidence of, say, Richard Hart and other altcoin founders, all right, they knew, they go, oh yeah, I've been through bear markets, you go down for a year, people get washed out, and then we go, because they're going to print money again. Something happened different this time, didn't it? We all got cucked. So major loser Powell has left the economy very, 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 very tight for a very long time. He's crushed Main Street, okay? 37 months, okay? So, yeah, we have seen the great divergence, haven't we? Bitcoin goes up, as you've seen by the Bitcoin dominance. Altcoins still crushed because altcoins, they're made for the little guy and girl. Main Street, but Main Street's crushed, yeah? Altcoins can only go up when Main Street's got money. If you go back to 2021, it's funny, right? This is, you don't forget this, okay? From your friend Sommi. You go back to 2021 when the PMI was actually the highest. If you go and speak to people, I remember back then, nobody was saying they're doing amazing, but they were acting like they were. Actions speak louder than words. People were saying, I'm scared about the virus. I'm scared about the jab. I'm scared about China supply chains. I'm scared. I'm so worried. Are more people going to die? What about the nursing homes? They were talking like that. But if you look at their actions, their footprints, they were euphoric out of their mind. They were buying monkey JPEGs for $400,000. They were buying gaming tokens, metaverse. We had all the WAGMI stuff. PMI was freaking, it was a super hot economy and inflation was high, okay? So now we know for the future. If we get up here, even if everyone's worried, you know you're expensive and it's not lasting. But let's bring it back to reality. Where are we right now? Are we high? No, we're low. And that's why, friends, I confidently tell you, I'm not sweating and I don't give a crap. Yeah, it's depressing. Yes, it's sad. Yeah, I wish we didn't go through a 37-month freaking PMI contraction. I wish, man. I pray every single day and I light the candle for us too. I light it again multiple times a day, friends. I'm lighting all the candles, okay? I don't walk past the candle without lighting it, okay? But we went through it. I'm just telling you now, if you go back to any cycle of crypto or markets and you look at bad low PMI below 50, and then your conclusion is that everything's ruined. It's never going up. there's no value. If that's your conclusion, very, very, very high odds you are making the mistake of your life. Okay? You can decide with that what you will, with everyone else out here. You guys want to click sell and leave on anything? Be my guest, bro. I don't stop anybody. I don't give a shit. I tell you, hey, I know you click and sell. I'm staying, and here's why. That's it. That's it. Yeah, because you know, friends. Let me just tell you, everyone, and Lit and everyone else. Guys, I'm not stupid. Okay? I am. I know why you're writing the essays. Because he's clicked sell. He's clicked sell. We know. I've been here. Okay? When you see a big, fat, long paragraph essay, when you see people constantly cry-fagging, dude, they sold. They just click sell. It's confirmation bias. I see it all the time. Okay? Now I just know. As soon as I read something like that, I go, oh, they click sell. Straight away. Okay? So, you've learned it now. Now, what do we do from here? Well, I wish I could tell you we do some backflips, start up an OnlyFans account, sell pictures of earlobes or something to make things go up. The problem is you and I are slaves to this cycle, just like Richard Hart, just like everybody else, okay? But how did they get through it before? Honestly, they literally did nothing but wait. And look, man, we've been waiting since month 12 of bad PMI, and now it's month 37. So yeah, I mean, everybody's sick of waiting. I get it. But what else can we do, man? Like, you know, I'm just going to keep holding. Yeah? If I thought something was going to $1, figuratively speaking, and it was at 10 cents, but now it's at 3 cents, I still think it's worth $1. All right? So, you understand it, friends? Look, your ultimate conclusion is nobody's bigger than the cycle. Nobody's bigger than the market. Yeah? Yeah? Crypto relies on network effects, which relies on people, which relies on the gate opening. And the gates can kind of open, but if people don't want to walk through the door, everybody loses. That's also why it's nice that Charles Schwab and Vanguard, $23 trillion under asset management with their customers, 50 million customers, that they're allowing crypto to be purchased next year, okay? That's a big, big, big step. It's like opening the door, you know? So that's where it leads us to today, friends. So, you know, I'm not going to stop you making a decision, but we know this. Look, you know, we literally got black swan. How much longer can it go? I don't know. There's nothing in history to say that this thing gets better, but US Fed cutting rates. Central bank, QT, has officially ended. We have an AI inflationary race war happening. We have the US Fed changing the chairman to Kevin Hassett, and his name literally has asset in it. Okay, May is when it all happens, and he is a low interest rate dove guy. Okay, we have all of those, plus stablecoin super cycle. All right, so once again, I don't know what next year holds. I thought this year was going to be good. It's poop. We got dark prophesied. I'm going to roll the dice another year. Don't forget who loves you, guys. Catch you in the next one.